If you'd like to save yourself a couple bucks and make your car a lot faster, go to Pro EFI on their website. 15% off if you type in Desert SXS. So go there. Also, if you'd like a discount on Packard wheels or MTS Offroad suspension parts, we have them on our own website. Save yourself a couple bucks. If you'd like to check out our website, go in the description below, click on more, and then to our Shopify website, and then that's where you can get MTS suspension merch. Also, if you'd like to donate on our Patreon, you're welcome to do that. We really appreciate it. We'd like to keep these videos coming. Give us some love and give us some support. Thanks for subscribing. If you'd like to support the people that support us, RPM has been very supportive of us, and we really appreciate that. Support RPM. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for watching. I love the shirt, Andy. So,
just for you, buddy.
I appreciate it. He's calling us out. He says we're slow. Been really wanting to make this video, but trying to help people to learn how to lead and also how to follow. If you're really slow in the group, you can still ride with the fast guys because you can learn from them, but at the same time, you got to learn where you can cut corners, how to be able to stay close, and also as a leader, you can't just go straight Mach 10, straight line and never look back and then be like, well, where are you guys all at? Especially if not everybody's got comms. So we kind of wanted to showcase a few ways how to catch up and not just do the loop if you're way behind, and then also how to lead and how to just do a loop every few hills so that you can see that the whole pack is there, especially if everybody's not running comms. Make sure everybody's together. Last thing you want to do is leave your buddies out in the desert and then never come back with you and riding again. So stay tuned, we're gonna figure this out. Gap is starting to get big right here, but as you can tell, Andy's going really wide. There's multiple lines that are much quicker on the inside to the right. Just take those lines if you're struggling to keep up. We are backtracking right here. We got a little excited on the skinny pedal and gapped the crew a little bit and lost them. Found him here and get the whole crew back together, get everybody all together, and we'll take off again. went through a few different lines that were quite difficult, so I knew this was gonna slow up the backpack pretty bad. So I found the first opportunity I could to loop around, get everyone kind of going in circles so everyone could keep riding instead of just sitting. Versus stock Pro R, exact same paddles, they're both 4 seats. Here we go. And now this tuned Alba Pro R does really well, it really does. That's a full sender right there. Say he's got a car or two on him. Oh, that's a couple cars, easy. Crushed him. They both run the same paddles. They're both Pro R4s. I think he bought the Pops and Bangs tin. That's what I said. So we took the boys out. We had quite a few different guys as far as pace goes. And we tried to show how to lead. And then we also tried to show how not to lead. As a leader, you can kind of be a garbage leader. You can also be a really good leader. We tried to get this guy to come ride with us just because we saw him out here by himself. I do not recommend riding the dunes by yourself. I swear the close calls and the wrecks we've had is when we're going slow. Slow on the dunes is usually not a good route. Don't ride by yourself. I don't recommend it. We tried to get him to ride with us, but he blew his motor last time he was out and he just didn't really want to have to push his cart. Right here's a good little spot. We went high on the bull. If you're falling behind, just go right here where the arrow is and go low on the bull. Cut the corners. Boat just came with us for the first time at Glamis this year. He's been multiple other times. At the end of the day, he was pretty dang timid to come out. I could tell he's a little worried just because we've been getting better and faster, riding with better and faster people, right? So I knew he was a little bit worried. So as far as Duning for Dummies, how did that work out for you?
I thought it worked really well. It's a lot better. I learned how to dune out in Idaho, and there's a lot more places to catch up, a lot easier to catch up. And so the going back and kind of following and retracing your steps a little bit, or making the bowl again, looping around, it definitely helped. I think it's the first time I've been to Glamis where we legitimately didn't get lost or separated from each other for maybe a brief second.
Yeah, it was, I mean, 15-20 seconds on comms.
And
I recommend everybody having comms, but if you don't have comms, half of the people didn't, right?
Yeah,
not everybody has the coin to spend another $1,500 on comms.
I think the biggest thing today was just knowing that someone was right there still. I don't feel like we ever lost each other for a long time. It was 15 seconds, and most of the time it was, hey, I missed the line, I know where you are, just hang out for 1 second, I'll be right there.
Right here we found some really high-paced stuff. I knew the gap was happening, so right here we did a figure 8, which can get a little hairy if everyone's not paying attention, just because you're kind of crossing each other. But that's where you kind of slow down, loop around, grab some gears, and go. But looping around, I mean, there were multiple times where we were looping around and we got right back into line and we're all up against each other. It's a lot easier to keep with the group when you're right on them. Yeah. And it's tough to do. We need to get some better paddles. I mean, paddles is a huge thing, right?
Mine are coming apart.
He's just, I mean, he's got these cheap little paddles on here. I mean, if you look at that scoop there on his paddle, my fronts have as much scoop as his rears do. So, and you don't have to buy a Bigfoot Packard if you don't want. I mean, there's plenty of other good options out there. There's STU. There's also Sandcraft. They make a really good paddle. At the end of the day, you just need a really good paddle, and that's something I'd recommend. Something like a high-end Sandcraft, an STU, a Packard. But Kendall, same issue. You know, he's struggling to keep up. He's got weak paddles. So that helps, just having a big paddle. I mean, you now came out here with your solid setup, Brent. And
it's a world of difference.
I mean, it's obvious you're driving better night and day.
Yeah.
Right?
Paddles make all the difference for the right paddle for the right car.
Don't go cheap on your paddle.
No.
I mean, I knew where a lot of, I mean, the times that me and Kendall like got or fell behind, we knew where the line was and we had the speed, we just didn't have the traction to be able to get up into that line.
Yeah, you're spinning a lot.
Spinning a lot, and you're just ducking out because you're like, I could fight it, but I burn up my belt, I might end up rolling. So it's just easier. I know where they are. I'll just radio on comms for a second, bow out. They know where we are. We know where they are.
Well, and when we do the loops and we circle around, we can see that you're not there too. Like, I want to go really fast, and they feel bad if they're slowing me up. It's like, dude, you can go whatever pace you want. If I can lead it correctly, I just do a couple extra loops. We're out here to dune and ride and have fun. We don't need to get to point A to point B as fast as possible, as long as we're all doing it and having fun and going our pace, right? So that's what we tried to do, is just showcase some good leading and some bad leading, and then also following, some good following and bad following. You don't want to not like cut the corners or don't do the extra bowl, you know, if you're falling behind. Catch back up.
I think that this was a great lesson on how to lead and how to follow.
What do you think, Kendall?
Well, I was definitely timid. I mean, the last two times.
You're 2 for 2 on the Rex.
Lawn dart and roll. My wife said, don't roll, which usually means I'm going to go roll. But no, I did not want to roll this time. And so,
no lawn dart either.
No lawn dart.
She didn't say no lawn dart?
That's what she didn't say. So I should
have done. You should have done the lawn dart.
No, I think it was, there's something great about having a leader who is committed to making sure doing those loops, because that way I didn't have to stress it. Like if I knew I was falling behind, I knew that there would be a certain point where you guys would loop, I could jump right back in, and
it gets rid of the stress level, right?
Totally does, and it helps me to be a better driver. So eventually at the end of the day I was feeling a lot better. But
now from our point of view, were you still having fun even though you had to loop back?
Dude.
Every mile, or I mean, it was probably every, what, 2 miles you had to loop back?
I mean, I never looked at the speedometer, but I loop back pretty often, right? But I have zero qualms with that. I'm not trying to get to China Wall or Swing Set or Olds in 5 minutes flat. Now, if we're doing a race, yeah, that's a different story, right? I had a great time. I was running my car to death, as we can tell. And
it did die.
I ran the car to death and it died. Physically, full throttle the whole time. And I had a great time. That's the thing. I can still ride with my friends, even if they don't go out as often, so they're not as good, right? And I still have a great time. I went my pace, you guys went your pace, but we all Dune together.
The guys who didn't have a good time are the ones that weren't here today. So
that's exactly
People
true.
Didn't have a good time because they didn't come.
That's right.
You know, be courteous of the people in your group, understand what the level of riding is, and if you're in the back, don't get frustrated, don't get stressed out, just drive like you know how to drive, and trust that the person that's leading is going to look out for you at the end of the day. And
you kind of have to have that conversation though, right? And that because I've rode with many people. I'll tell you right now, I'm not bringing a couple of my friends with me if a certain 2 people are leading, because they will just get left behind. Thanks for tuning in and thanks for watching. Please hit that subscribe button. Also, if you'd like to support the people that support us, MTS Suspension has made my cars handle so much better. And if you'd like to get that done, down in the link below in our description, you can actually get MTS Suspension. And we also already have it discounted for you. Save you a few bucks. That way it doesn't cost you as much. You are in the Havasu area. Malone Motorsports. Freaking killer job on my cage. You can customize your cage to whatever you want. Hit them up. Good guy to reach out. If you want, link us up and we'll get him in contact with you. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Peace.